16, Nate Martinez.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in on the broadcast on the Kern High Network, bringing you live exclusive coverage of Kern High School sports, arts, and entertainment. Coming to you from East High School this evening, home of the East High Blades, and East High Blades hosting the South High Rebels. Titan Tom Myers on the broadcast, of course, with Kevin Willie, our cameraman, and none other than Rick Van Horn, my esteemed colleague here. And Rick, a game tonight that we're going to see a little bit of kind of power running from both squads.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get here. You've got an explosive South High team that put up 70 points last week, and you've got a consistent East High team that's putting up 26, 27 points, playing great defense, is 5-1 on the season. So this is a big game and a big league game. You know, the winner of this will go on and be in the driver's seat for the SEYL championship.
Yeah, so the SEYL kicking off last week, both the Blades and the Rebels 1-0, winning their first games. Of course, the Blades under Coach Casey Tittlemeyer in his first season. Tittlemeyer coming from Centennial High School. And the Blades right now, after a procedure call on the kickoff, actually received the ball at about the 40-yard line, and they're driving, and they're inside the 24-yard line, and it's going to be third down. Not much gain on that play.
Well, if you saw that game last week in South High and Foothill, you cannot run against the South High, the right side of that, the left side of that South High defense. Foothill gained almost 99% of their yardage was against the right side of that South High defense.
So once again, coming to you from from East High tonight, senior night here at East High. And so we got off to a little bit of blazer, and there's an interception. And that's picked off by the Blades. That's number 8, Hassan Lopez. And a penalty marker comes flying in at the end of the play at the 40-yard line.
So I think it's going to stand as an interception for South High. Change of possession here. Just not a good decision by quarterback Willie Ball. Kind of hesitated a little bit and then threw it late, and you can't throw short late.
And as is customary with most of the games that we've called this year, an early sideline warning, which seems to be the MO of the officiating crew this year, trying to keep the players from coming out onto the field and getting in the way of the line judges. They're moving up and down the field. Hey, real quick, just wanted to give a quick shout-out to Adriana Gaben, 87 years young, a big fan of ours that watches from home here on the Kern High Network. So, Adriana, hope you are healthy, happy, and wise.
That's awesome.
So the Rebels now take over after kind of a botched onside kick attempt early.
That East High got in good field position, so they go 3 and out. This is a South High offense that put up 70 points last week against Foothill.
And indeed they did, because we're going to be talking about King Ellis, I think, all night long.
Well, you're going to be talking about Daniel Lomax throughout the season.
Lomax, number 22, the running back and that's Ellis coming around on the jet sweep. And he's going to pick up about 7 yards and get forced out of bounds right around the 46-yard line.
These are two of the best players in town, King Ellis, number 3, and number 22, Daniel Lomax. Lomax, we've been calling his name for the last 3 years. He's going to be a guy that's, 1,000-yard rusher last year, going to be a 1,000-yard rusher this year. Definitely one of the top 3 running backs in town.
So Manny Guzman from the shotgun, hands off, and Ellis around the other side now, and he's brought down at the 48-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards on the play.
One thing that's been keeping East High in the games, they're 5-1 on the year, one of the best records in the city, is their defense. And, they're a team that's only given up, 23 is the most points they've given up this whole year.
So now it's third down and short. Guzman pitches it out to the side, and that's Lomax around the right side. And he's going to inch forward. I think he's going to get the first down, and a flag comes flying in at the 50-yard line.
Probably going to be against South High. One of the wideouts probably holding out there. Well, it's going to be a plus for East High.
So the other game of the week on the network tonight is Stockdale hosting Centennial. Stockdale beat BHS last week 30-22. And, of course, Centennial lost to Liberty 17-7. But a 17-7 game holding Liberty 17 points, not too bad for a Centennial defense.
Not bad. And Centennial's up and down. They lost to a Rigetti team, I think, earlier this year, 66-6.
Wow.
You get beat that bad, you got to go back to the
I
drawing
think,
board.
I
But
think we all
there's nowhere to go but up.
I think we all shook our heads on that one. That was kind of an anomaly. Either Rigetti is really fantastic, or Centennial had not put anything
now you
together
can see
yet.
King Ellis at quarterback here, and
Ellis will go from the Wildcat, and there's going to be some movement, I think, in the line, and that's going to be a false start called against the offense and push him back 5 yards more. And that's one of the problems, Rick. In all discovery of everything we're going to talk about tonight, this is the third game that I've called with South High this year, and that seems to be their MO early in the game. These penalties kind of get to them as they get started.
except last week when they put up 70 against Foothill. They didn't miss a whole lot of beats last week.
Yeah, kind of an anomalous season, and we'll get into more of that as we go along here this evening. So now it's 3rd down and 15, and that's Ellis throwing it out to the side, and Lomax, and he's almost sprung free, held on to, and he's going to be dragged down. And a pickup of about 5 yards, 6 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Great job by the East High defense. If they can do that on Daniel Lomax all night long, they're going to win the game.
So far, the only loss that East has this season is to West High by a score of 26-23. Of course, the big drama was in Week 1 when East was trailing Golden Valley by a score of 9-6. Late in the game, drove down and kicked a field goal to win.
Yeah, they were
ironically
9-7, and they ended up winning 10-7 or 10-9 on that game.
And ironically, the two losses that South has faced this season are at the hands of the two same teams in West and Golden Valley that East faced.
Yeah.
So this one bound determined probably to be a very close matchup.
Yeah.
So that punt, and with the wind here, it doesn't get very far, and that one's straight up and down, and they're going to stop it. And the net on that punt is only about 15 yards.
Yeah, you talked about comparing scores. Here's a Golden Valley team that East beat, but a couple weeks later, South High loses to Golden Valley and allows Golden Valley to pick up their first win. Both teams have lost to West High, and that's the only wins that West High has. They're 2-4 on the season. And
so we're just putting all kinds of puzzles together tonight, aren't we?
This SEYL is.
Are you putting them together or taking them apart?
Yeah.
Well, trying to figure that one out. With the wind blowing up here, we may not have rosters here in a little while. So now East is going to have the ball at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10 from the shotgun. And that's ball out to the left side. And a pickup of about 3 yards on the play. That pass was complete to number 4, Keyshawn Nelson. We'll be talking about Nelson all night long.
Well, East High has some receivers that can catch the ball. Their number 1 guy is Michael Rodriguez, number 1, but they have Keyshawn Nelson, number 4. Andrew Perez, number 5, can catch the ball. They've got some guys, skilled guys that can catch the ball.
And in the interest of full disclosure, we should also point out that Rick is a teacher here at East High School and knows many of these kids down on the field.
Yeah.
And that's a pass complete to Michael Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a senior, and he's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
They don't wear their jerseys to class every day, so it's tough to remember their numbers here. So
teacher and alumni, right? Didn't you go to school?
No.
Oh, you didn't? You went to BHS then?
We're not saying.
Okay.
All right.
I thought you went
Well,
to
You don't want to
actually,
give.
we have
That's
quite a
a
rivalry
game.
here because he's a BHS guy and I'm a West High guy.
We're not bringing up another school on the other side of town when this school pays my bills. So.
And so now, looks like Coach is going to go ahead and call a timeout. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Bakersfield College, and Motor City. Once again, welcome in on the broadcast. Tom Myers joined up here on top of the press box at East High School. Rick Van Horn On the color commentary and, of course, on the camera, Kevin Willie running camera and production duties this evening. So we got started a little bit late, a little bit of a computer glitch, but hopefully we've got it all figured out now and able to bring you a fantastic broadcast of Friday Night Football right here on the Kern High Network. So tell everybody you know. By the way, if you haven't tried this, on the Fire Stick there is a web browser. You can browse to the Kern High Network, pick the game of the week, and then choose our game and flash that whole thing up and watch it on your television. My wife, Christy, watches at home on Friday nights when I'm here. So now, 3rd down and short for the East High Blades. And that might be an encroachment and an easy 5 yards. And sure enough, the white hat is pointing the first down arrow. So that's going to be a first down for the Blades.
Oh, they're calling it the other way.
Oh, he pointed one way with both hands. I guess maybe he was pointing at somebody and not a first down.
Who is that white hat down there?
We know.
Well,
we won't mention his name just in case he has people looking for him.
Who is he and what's his address?
I could have swore that was an offside on South High.
That white hat is a friend of many of us up here on top of the press box. So they're going to be pushed back 5 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 from the 49-yard line. In the backfield, number 10, Jose Chavez. And quarterback, number 2, Willie Ball. Ball back to pass. He's hit as he throws. And that one overthrown to a wide-open Michael Rodriguez. And a big opportunity missed there for the Blades.
Yeah, so they'll bring up 4th down. Rodriguez, their big play guy. He's their best receiver. You talked about 16, Nate Martinez in the backfield. They've got to get him going for them to be successful.
And there was a holding penalty down here. So Michael Rodriguez got held. That was the reason maybe that the pass got overthrown because he got held up.
Well,
and
we're
that looks
see
like
here.
It's going to be a first down.
It's going to be a first down for East High.
So that'll move the East High Blades down to the 41-yard line and bring up first down and 10. 5 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Score is zeros.
If we were at South High last week, we would have had about 50 points on the board already. That game, they scored over 100 points between the two of them.
And how many touchdowns did Lomax get?
He had 4 and 2 called back.
Oh, wow. So there's a handoff inside to Nate Martinez, and he's brought down on the tackle number 5, Sebastian Ornelas.
Everything off this offense for East High is based off what Nate Martinez can do, running the ball. The passing game and play action, anything else, they've got to get Nate Martinez going, running the ball.
2nd down and 9 from the 40-yard line for the Blades.
Nate Martinez on that last run for a yard. 2nd down and 9.
Triple set down here on the near side. And that was a false start.
Again, a penalty before the snap.
Yep, false start. Some of the receivers took off a little bit early on that play. That'll bring a 5-yard penalty and push them back 5 yards to the 45-yard line.
South High running a 7-man box, so they're going to have some one-on-one situations out there. In that situation there, Keyshawn Nelson was going to be one-on-one with Devin Dean at the corner. Now you have down here, you have Michael Rodriguez, their best receiver, on Ramus Rogers down here. So we'll see where they go.
So ball scrambling, and he pitches it forward.
Ball scrambles, and he gets.
And that's Keyshawn Nelson.
And a pickup of about 6-7 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 from the 39-yard line.
Actually, a pretty good play by Ball by making something out of nothing there. Getting the ball to Keyshawn and still getting 6 yards on that.
Takes the ball to the 39-yard line for a 3rd and 8.
I had a nice conversation before the game with Coach Tillmeyer, and he said that they were going to try and spread the ball around a little bit, half run, half pass all night long to try to keep South High off edge. And right now they seem to be throwing the ball more than anything, and there's a wide open receiver in number 1, Michael Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That'll be good enough for another East
Like I
High.
said, he's their best receiver, their leading receiver. They need to get him going early.
15-yard pickup to the
South High's going to give him a little respect, just like you saw there. They give him a little distance there. He's able to break those intermediate to short routes off, and Ball's got to be able to deliver it.
So first down and 10 at the 25-yard line for the Blades. From the shotgun, and he's going to keep it cut back inside and push forward for about 5 yards.
Ball calls his own number up to the 20-yard line. Pick up 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
And we don't have a 44 on the roster.
No, you don't. for
Football
South High.
players notorious for changing their numbers on us mid-season.
No, that's he was there last week making plays, and he wasn't on the roster, and he's not on the roster
And
this
we
week.
will have to pick up whoever that is from the South High staff that's up on top of the press box here in a little while. We don't want to miss him. That's the second or third play he's already made in this quarter. So second down and 5. And Ball rolls and throws to his left. Almost picked off there.
But I think it's going to be good enough for a first down. It's going to be close.
First down.
Keyshawn Nelson, that's his third catch.
So we'll see where the spot is. It looks like the spot's on this side of the 15 and the yard marker for the first down's on the other side. So it'll bring up third down and short
Going to
for
be
the
third
Blades.
down and short there.
From the 16-yard line.
2:23 left to go here in the first quarter. We're tied at 0. Coming to you from East High tonight, home of the East High Blades. And the Blades are hosting the South High Rebels. Senior night here at East High. A lot of festivities going on before the game started. And the wind blowing a little bit, and I just saw the 30-yard marker turn a different direction down there on the field, and it's going to pick up throughout the night. Little misdirection on that one, and he's going to push forward
Calling his own number up the middle, and he's
on
got
the quarterback
number 8
keeper.
down.
And I think Ball gets the first down there. Probably the best drive of the night for either team.
3 to 13-yard line.
Nice call because nobody was really looking for that. They were looking for the fullback on
Well,
that
it's
play.
3rd and 1, so you know something short is coming, and they're inside the red zone now. So East High should at least get a field goal out of this.
First down and 10 from the 13-yard line for the Blades. Triple set down here on the near side. Lone receiver up on the high side. And Ball's going to hold on to it, and he misses a wide open receiver standing in the end zone. Was his tight end, number 44, Landon Burrell.
Landon Burrell was open, just couldn't get it to him.
And so that'll bring up second down now. Rick, what do you think about the improvisation of Ball and able to move out around in the pocket and scramble back and forth, really keeping the defense on their heels?
Well, this day and age, you have to have a quarterback that can do that, you know, and I think out of the thousands of teams that play football, there's only a couple quarterbacks that can stay in the pocket and win games, and you saw one last night, a guy named Tom Brady.
Yeah. And that one bounced off, and that one tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted. That one hung in the air for a little bit too long, I'm sure.
Got some pressure from South High. Jesus Mays was in on Ball as he threw the ball. So you talk about the quarterbacks. They have to make plays with their feet. When you run a spread offense, you have to have a quarterback who can make plays with their feet.
And Mays down there hitting himself on the helmet, a little bit jazzed up and ready to go. I think he's looking for somebody's hat. So third down and 10. Ball back to pass, throws a slant but misses, and that one's almost intercepted.
Well, I think he was throwing the slant, but Keyshawn Nelson thought he was throwing the fade, but so he had a little miscommunication there.
So now here comes Jose Chavez. Chavez once again the game opener winner to finish off.
He was actually the player of the game against Golden Valley.
Well, that's not what we call a high-scoring affair. So this will be a 30-yard field goal here. And the kick is up.
Kick is up.
Is it going to be on? No,
Oh.
just left. So 1:04 left to go here in the first quarter.
Had enough distance, but it
We're tied at 0. More right after this.
remaining in the first quarter. No score.
Welcome. For South High, and a handoff around the right side.
Caleb Peoples.
And I've been
number
waiting
9.
to see him for 3 games now. He's been out for the season, came back just last week.
Well, he had a good game last week. He was involved quite a bit last week, had catches, had tackles, played better on defense than he did on offense. So he's one of their stars, and we're talking about this. South High's got 2 players, King Ellis and Daniel Lomax. The rest are very good role players, which shows by the record 4-2.
Well, Manny Guzman threw about a 45-yard touchdown strike 2 weeks ago against West High as he was getting hammered and probably jumped over one of his linemen before letting the ball go and getting just drilled. And I'll tell you what, that was a fantastic pass. And that one looks like it's encroachment, and that's going to be a first down for the South High Rebels. So the Rebels cashing in on some of the problems that they've seen on the penalty side and getting one back for themselves.
Ball now spotted at the Rebels' 31-yard line.
So first down from the 31-yard line, and that's going to be a handoff to Lomax. He cuts back to the inside, still on his feet, and he's going to hit the block wall right at about the 38-yard line and be brought down there. It'll be second down and 3.
Lomax brought down the play of number 8.
If East High can eliminate the big play from Lomax and King Ellis, they're going to be in this game at the end of the
Medina in on the assist. No time remaining on the clock.
the end of the 4 quarters.
And that's the end of the first quarter. The score, the East High Blades 0,
12 minutes have
the
gone
South High
by.
Rebels
No
0.
score.
So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
Welcome to the city, Motor City, where it's summer sell down. Drive away a GMC Sierra 4-door, only $29,990, or save up to $10,000 off select Sierra HD models. Summer sell down offers end September 3rd. We are professional grade, and we are California's largest volume GMC dealer, Motor City.
Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is here to be your lifelong financial partner. So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home, Kern Schools is here to help. And if you live in Kern County, then you can bank with us. See, we're local just like you, so what we accomplish together benefits our entire community. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
Second down and 3, and it's fumbled and picked up again by King Ellis, and he's going to run out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and that's going to be a loss of about 9 yards on the play.
30-yard line.
It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 11 here, something that South High doesn't like to see because they don't throw the ball as well as other teams around the city.
Takes it back to the 30. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Well, we saw in the first game against Golden Valley, the South High Rebels had come out and throwing a bunch of slants and actually had some success early until Golden Valley jumped on them and got a pick 6.
Now, they do have some receivers that can catch the ball. Manny Guzman can throw the ball. And
that's a pass over to number 4, Angel Alvarez.
Pass completed, number 4.
that's going to bring a 4th and about 4. So Should be a punting situation for South High, but
Carlos Medina.
as we saw last week,
Salazar on that tackle. Bring
we
it
didn't
up
see
a
any
fourth down.
punts, and we saw 8 onside kicks. So
36-yard line.
this is the first time I've ever seen him punt.
Well, here comes the punting unit now.
5.
A big crosswind here tonight, at least from where we are. I'm looking at the flagpole, though, over on the north end, and it's not moving hardly at all. So we might be in a wind tunnel here or something. I'm not quite sure.
Well, this wind's going north to south, so
So Lino Bravo now on to punt for the South High Rebels.
To return for the Blades.
Back for the Blades looks like number 1, Michael Rodriguez. And a bad snap, but he gets a hold of it and gets it away. Not a bad punt for what he had, and that's going to get a good bounce for South High. And it's going to roll down to a stop around the 32-yard line.
Brings it inside the 35, and then he touchdown at about the 32-yard line. 32-yard.
Fans, once again, tonight's broadcast brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Motor City, and Bakersfield College. Our other broadcast game tonight, Stockdale and Centennial over at Stockdale. And we did get a score in. BHS leading Garces 10-7 right now. That game is at Garces, I believe, this evening.
it is.
First quarter score.
And from where we are, I can kind of see the glow of the lights at Garces' stadium not too far from here.
Also in the
And we
first
just-
quarter, Garces Rams 7, Bakersfield High 0.
And the PA announcer announced it as 0. I don't know if that's correct.
Give us to number 21.
So a
Daniel
handoff
Wallace.
to number 21, Daniel Wallace. He's around the right side. He's going to pick up a couple of yards. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Brought down on the play by number 43, Endon Sampson.
Wallace gives them a little bit more speed on the outside. You see, he's a little quicker than Nate Martinez. Martinez more of the
35.
3 yards and a clouded desk power guy. And this second quarter now, they've going to open it up a little bit with Daniel Wallace.
So 2nd down now and 7. Ball back to pass. And he throws long down the right side. That was intended for number 1, Michael Rodriguez. And it's going to fall incomplete and bring up 3rd down.
Got some single coverage over there. They take the safety over late, but
Intended for number 1, Michael Rodriguez, bringing up 3rd down.
we see that East High is trying to get the ball to Rodriguez, which is their number 1 guy.
Rich Cornford at Frontier High School years ago with Josh Legeret at the quarterback and Jacob Adelman. He would run Adelman single side with trips down to the low side here, and they would have to bring the safety over and negotiate the trips on this side. And Adelman, every time they would dump the ball long to him, and he's one of the speediest guys on the field. And I would watch that play happen over and over and over again all season long. How teams didn't follow along on film and see that. And he's wide
Got
open.
it wide open.
He's wide open and
Oh!
he misses. Gabriel Hussein. Hussein wide open. Nobody close to him within 7 yards. And now it's going to be 4th down for East High.
Hussein actually broke to the corner on that, but if he would have broke to the post, it was wide open too. So what they're doing is kind of running a semi-double coverage on Rodriguez on the single side, which leaves that middle wide open for Hussein or whoever it is at that 3rd spot for East High.
Now, I'm not sure if I can see this correct, but it looks like Willie Ball is their punter. Is that correct? So ball on to punt. Standing about the 30-yard line, and he gets that one away quickly. A good punt. That's going to bounce on the 35, and it's going to be picked up. And that's going to be King Ellis around the left side, and he's going to be brought down quickly. And a penalty marker flies at about the 44-yard line. And, of course, there's a player down for East High on the field, not too far from where the flag was thrown.
Yeah, that punter was Andrew Perez, senior Andrew Perez, number 5.
Injured Blade out on the field.
5s and 2s all look the same right about now.
4-yard return.
We'll try to figure out who that is down here in a second.
37-yard punt.
I see Daniel Calvin down there, the former All-American from Kansas State. Bakersfield High, Bakersfield College, All-American.
And a lot of the staff out on the field right now tending to the player for East High that went down. And he seems to be in a lot of pain, something you really don't want to see on a Friday night. Tonight, of course, was senior night. As Rick explained to me, of course, being on staff here at East High School, they will have their homecoming coming up in another 2 weeks, which is normally when you would celebrate a senior night as your last home game, but they'll be having their homecoming then. Yeah. Scheduling being what that is, I'm assuming that's probably the reason for that.
Kind of a smart move on East High's part there, because
you
don't want to do that.
More time to plan.
Yeah, you don't want to do both on the same night.
Absolutely. So a fun night coming to you again here from historic East High School. A lot of great things going on here at East High. Improvements to the school. You know, really love coming to a program like this, one that's been storied for years and years and years. You had a little stint in coaching here, I believe.
I did. Of
course, I think Rick Van Horn's coached pretty much everywhere, haven't you?
Well, no. Bakersfield High, East High, Liberty High, and the Bakersfield Blitz.
Yeah, there's a few places. So Rick, great to have you on the broadcast this evening. Always nice to talk to somebody that knows something. The big joke is, Kevin, that I know volleyball, but I don't know much about football.
I was going to say, that's a good way of saying this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, I am Vance Palm's color commentator when it comes to volleyball. So the East High players still down. We're going to break away for a second, then we'll be right back.
So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home. Current Schools. Together, we have something special.
Welcome to the city, Motor City, where it's summer sell down. Drive away a GMC Sierra 4-door, only $29,990, or save up to $10,000 off select Sierra HD models. Summer sell-down offers end September 3rd. We are professional grade, and we are California's largest volume GMC dealer, Motor City.
Current Schools Federal Credit Union is here to be your lifelong financial partner. So while
Number 18, Michael Garcia.
So the injured player for the East High Blades is number 18, Michael Garcia. We didn't get a good look at it, but the penalty marker was thrown right around where he was hit. And that apparently was some sort of a personal foul call, because that pushed the South High Rebels all the way back to their 26-yard line, 27-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from there. Tied at 0 still, 9:39 left to go here in the second quarter. On the broadcast once again, Tom Myers. Welcome in, everybody. Kevin Willie joining us on our camera production, and Rick Van Horn handling all of our color commentary duties tonight. Of course, he knows both of these teams very well, especially the East High team. And so that's going to be Lomax around the right side, and he's going to be brought down to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 3 yards on the play.
He brought down on the play by number 52.
And Rick, hats off to the East High defense, doing a great job of containing him and cutting him back to the inside.
Good job by Michael Gary that time. Like I said, if they can keep the big play happening, a la King Ellis and Daniel Lomax, they're going to be in this game.
And that looks like Ellis from the shotgun, and he hands it off to Lomax.
Lomax, once again, the ball carrier.
So Guzman now out of the picture. Ellis and Lomax in the backfield.
Well, you'll see that. They'll put King Ellis at quarterback, so it gives them a double threat there at running the ball. Guzman either hands it off or he's going to throw it, so it's not really that double threat there.
And Ellis, we've seen already, has the ability to throw the ball. Maybe not down the field like Guzman does, but the quick short passes are what they've really been known for.
He did throw it long last week for a touchdown to Peebles, I think.
So the read option, and Ellis is going to hold on to it, and he's going to push forward right up the middle and pick up 8 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 2 from about the 47-yard line.
Gain of 8, second and 2.
What you don't realize is they've got the wind to their back this second quarter. They'll have it the fourth quarter now. But you talked about it. We've got a stiff wind up here. And so it can change the game and change your play calling when you're with the wind and against the wind.
So Ellison, he's going to pitch it inside. And that's number 8, Hassan Lopez. And Lopez is brought down, and there's going to be no gain on the play there.
Nice job by Nathan Carr there, 56, their middle backer. He was a first team all SEYL last year. He's kind of their mainstay, makes all the calls on defense.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 3.
So East High playing a stout defense so far here in the game, and a penalty marker is going to come out.
Flag before the snap.
Probably against South High here.
And that's a false start on South.
High.
That's awfully quick false start.
5-yard penalty.
Looked like
Yeah,
the center
it looked-
picked up
it
the
looked like
ball
he
and set
picked
it
up
back
the ball,
down. Yeah.
41-yard line. Officials for tonight.
And the official had thrown the flag right at the ball, so
Head linesman is Carlos Caldillo.
good job for them keeping an eye on it there.
And our back judge is David Newby. Thank you, gentlemen, for your fine work this evening.
So King Ellis once again from the shotgun, and he's going to sling it out there, and it misses its intended target, which I think might have been number 4, Angel Alvarez. But Alvarez could have been one of 2 receivers that were over there. He was wide open.
Yeah. They had a host of receivers over there, but he overthrew every one of them.
And now it's 4th down. And coming on to punt, number 80, Lino Bravo.
That's a name you'll like to say, huh? Lino Bravo?
Like Whiskey Tango.
Yeah. Keyshawn Nelson back deep. He needs to catch this punt wherever it's at.
Bravo's punt.
And that one over here to the side, and it's going to come back. It looks like it's going to roll out of bounds right around the 39-yard line, and the Blades will have it there, 1st down and 10 to go.
We do have a flag out here.
And that there's 2 penalty markers thrown back at the 38-yard line. And if that's against South, would you want them to kick it again, or would you take your chances with what you got right here?
It's going to be a legal procedure against South. I'm going to take it right there because it was an East High bounce on the punt, which gives them the ball at the 40-yard line.
And that's why he's the best color guy in the business, folks.
Yeah.
He guessed what the coach was going to say before the coach even said it. So 6 minutes and 58 seconds left to go here in the first half, and we are blazing through this first half right now.
Well,
a rather quick game. Haven't seen a lot of quick ones lately. That
much
South High
quicker
game went
than
really long last week.
Yeah. And there was only 4 passes in the first half and 0 punts, but a lot of scoring. So they've got Nate Martinez back in at running back.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line, and a penalty marker flies.
Could be a legal procedure against the Blades.
Start against East High before the snap.
So now we're going to start seeing more and more flags, it seems. That's probably about the 10th penalty called in this game so far.
Very well could be. You know, we're at the point in the season where, especially in this SEYL, where you've got Highland, North, East, and South all contending, and they're very, very competitive teams. And
that's Ball scrambling to his left. He's going to hold on to it, and he's going to get drilled, and that's going to be he was out of bounds and hit late, and that's going to tack on 15 yards and bring up a 1st down. Most likely.
Yeah, it looked like Dariel Seals for South High. A little late on that hit.
By number 21, DeRay Seals.
Great effort, but not quite there on time.
Well, you know, if you're gonna hit a guy out of bounds like that, you might as well blast him. You know, you might as well get your money's worth, because Ball just kind of shook that off and hustled back to the field, and didn't affect him a bit.
Yeah, so the league, SEYL, that Rick was talking about,
That's going to be
so
good
far,
enough for an East High first down.
East is 5-1, Highlands 5-1, South is 4-2, North is 4-2, and Foothill is 3-3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do have some teams that have won games this year, and it's not like you have two at the top and the rest at the bottom.
It's Nate Martinez on the carry.
So Martinez, and he's going to push forward for about 5 yards, 4 yards on the play.
Well, that brings up a good point because we're going to find out who the pretenders are. You know, East High's 5-1, South High's 4-2. They've played.
Rebels territory, 2nd and 6.
I don't want to call it a cupcake schedule, but they've played teams that, you know, haven't done so well this
Haven't
year.
had winning schedule.
Yeah.
Haven't had winning records.
You know,
yeah.
East High opponents are 10-28
Ooh.
on the season.
And Rick was doing math today, apparently, while he was at work, so that's a teacher for you.
Yeah. Keyshawn Nelson, that's his 4th catch.
And that's a big pickup for the Blades. And their first push, really,
Well, they've
since early in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've been knocking on the door. They missed the field goal. Now they're almost back in the red zone.
And that 30-yarder went left by maybe only about a yard or two.
Yeah, and they needed that because that was with the wind. If they need to get a little closer now for a field goal attempt because they're against the wind.
So there's a handoff inside, and that's Nate Martinez. And Martinez is going to get 5 yards on the play.
Good push by Martinez.
And then a little frustration at the end of that one, and
we talked about
being pulled apart.
You know, we talked about East opponents. South High, their opponents are 7-30.
Oh, okay.
So that 4-2 record, you know, once you start playing Highland, North, East, Foothill.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from that Golden Valley squad. That was a fantastic game, and they really played one of their best games of the season. In that they haven't had much.
Oh, another good catch.
Ball's pass complete.
And that's complete to Keyshawn Nelson. And that's going to be close to a first down. It is a first down. And East High has the ball inside the 20-yard line, and they're knocking on the door.
14-yard line after a pickup of
That might be his 5th or 6th catch. We don't have the stats up here, but.
Second trip for the East High offense inside the Rebels red zone.
We are definitely not going to see 70 points from South High tonight.
Well, East High defense may be a little tougher than what they faced last week. And so now really spread out. And and he didn't see him coming. Ball
Daniel
sacked in the
Lomax.
backfield. And Lomax making it happen on defense.
Wow.
And a big hit.
7-yard loss back to the 21-yard line, 2nd and 17.
Coach Kerry Mills is not dumb. You know, you got to get your players on the field, whether he's your star running back, star quarterback. If he's your best defensive player, you got to get him on the field, and he has. And Daniel Lomax probably being one of the top 5 players in town overall. He's got a future next year at the next level, as does King Ellis.
Well, you definitely saw the speed coming off the end there. Even though Ball didn't see it. Now he's going to let one fly out to the right side.
That's Rodriguez.
Near the South High sideline.
And Rodriguez is going to get dragged out of bounds. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 from the 13-yard line.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, East High's got guys that can catch it. You know, you got Rodriguez, Keyshawn Nelson out there, Gabe Husan. They can all catch it.
3 minutes and 1 second counting on the clock in the first half. And the East High Blades trying to come away with 6 points here. So ball back to pass, and that one's deflected. And once again, that's big number 65, Jesus Mays. And that's about the second time Mays has got a hand on the ball in the game.
Yeah, it is. You know, he had a big sack here earlier and then gets his hands up, so he's playing
another 30-yard field.
So here we go.
It's number 10, Jose Chavez.
Number 10, Jose Chavez, the kicker, on to try once again another 30-yard field goal. The last one was left by about a yard.
Well, he's got no wind now, so that's time to kick it.
The wind has taken a break here. And wow. The ball barely got down. I don't even know if it even hit the ground before he kicked it. And the kick is good. The Blades on the board, 3-0, 2:39 to go here in the second quarter.
Wow. Jesus Alamo, number 7, the holder.
I don't even think the ball hit the ground.
Well, Jose Chavez rushed that a little bit.
So 1 for 2 so far tonight for Chavez. He may get the player of the game.
Only got to score a point. He automatically gets player of the game.
Yep.
Basically, that's what happened in the first game against Golden Valley. You know, he scored 4 of the 10 points in that game and got player of the game.
Remember what they say. If we're in the woods and there's you and me and a bear, I only have to outrun you.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, it's number 10, Jose Chavez.
So Chavez now kicking off. And, of course, Lomax and King back for South High. And, of course, they kick it to Lomax. I don't know if I would have tried that one. But great defense there on the coverage for the Blades. And he's brought down to the 34-yard line. They'll have it there first and 10.
And that looked like Jose Chavez. Number 10. No, that was number 30. Ricardo Eaton.
18-yard return for Lomax.
On that tackle.
After a 45-yard kick.
You know, I always say I learned 2 things. I learned one thing from Tom on volleyball, and it's you got to talk to each other on the court. The one thing I learned from Rick in football is don't kick it to the fastest guy.
That's right. Don't kick it to their best player.
Now, Manny Guzman back in. Obviously, they're going to start hurling the ball around the field, I think, a little bit with him in there.
Well, they got Lomax split out here into the slot, but they go the other way.
He's going to throw a quick slant over there.
To Angel Alfares.
And he's only going to pick up a yard or 2 on the play, but the clock stops with 2:23 to go.
Yeah.
Takes the ball up to the 35-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Now, one thing South needs to be careful of, a couple weeks ago when I watched them play against Golden Valley picked up on this at one point, and he's hit right as he lets it go, and a big hit there. That was number 17, Luis Benitez. And Benitez just drilled Guzman in the back. Third down and 8 now from the 35-yard line. And the PA announcer here is trying to keep up with me, I guess, because we seem to be saying the same thing at the same time. We should just pipe him in, Kevin.
That's Robert Chavez, baseball coach.
Then we get rid of you.
Yeah. Always get rid of the loudmouth.
It's going to be a 3rd and 8 for, looks like timeout by South High. 2:05 left on the clock.
And while we have a timeout, we'd like to say hello and thank you to the East High administrative staff here. Principal Leo Holland, Assistant Principal of Instruction Sydney Peterson, Assistant Principal of Administration Johnny Rose, Dean of Students Miss Missy Bennett, a good friend of mine, Athletic Director Tori Nettleton, and Activities Director Brianna Alvarez. Thank you for everything you do for us and for our students in the district.
And let's thank all those teachers out there that actually do all the work.
We
they
do
gotta
know
put up with these guys.
You're the ones that keep them on the field.
Yeah.
We got one of them right here on the press box standing right next to me, and Rick Van Horn.
That's right.
And then let's thank the substitute teachers like me.
That's right.
That get absolutely no respect.
That's right.
But I do love. I'm subbing now at Frontier High School, and I absolutely love the students there. They've known me forever as Titan Tom and nicknamed me years ago, and it's stuck. And
it's pretty
they love
easy.
having me. It's great when I show up. I'm a rock star when I go to school.
If they want their name announced, they're going to treat you
well.
well.
That's correct.
For your East High defense.
So third down for the East High defense. I never quite heard it called that way, but King Ellison, he's going to hold on to it and get out of bounds and scramble all the way up to the 41-yard line. Close to a first down, but that's going to bring up fourth down and a big decision for Kerry Mills with 1:57 left on the clock.
Yeah, and that's not even going to be close there, so.
Yeah, he's got about 2.5 yards to go, but I don't see him sending on the punt unit.
Brings up a 4th and 2.
But with that leg of Chavez, would you really want to gamble it here and end up with another field goal?
Stays out on the field. All right, here we go, Blades fans.
So Ellis and Lomax in the backfield now, Rick. Trips up on the high side, single receiver down here. And Ellis is going to go on the sweep, and he almost gets tackled, and he pushes forward. But I don't know, did the ball come out?
It's going to be close. I think they're going to call a fourth down. No. They're going to give him a first down.
It's a first down, but
Boy.
And we heard out of the press box someone said, "Oh, are you serious?" I don't know if they know there's a hot mic down there or not. Wow.
Well,
For the Rebels' first down ball.
It looked like he had a first down.
43-yard line.
you know, I would have had to ask for a measurement there, but
Ellis, the ball carrier, brought down from behind by number 6, Noah Arvizu.
And number 9, Caleb Peebles, shaking up on the play there, and he's limping around a little bit. That's not good news for South.
that's not good.
But they're going
he's
hurry up here because it's 1:14 and counting on the clock, and they're at the 48-yard line. And he's going to spike it. Ellis is going to spike the ball for clock stoppage now. And a little extracurricular going on there.
Well, actually, Carr, if that ball's on the ground, he did the right thing, picked it up, and
it didn't look like it was thrown or spiked into the ground enough, I guess, and he thought that maybe that was a fumble, and he'd pick it up and run off with it.
And actually, is that...
Waiting for the officials to put the ball in play on that last play.
I think it's third down now, and they go ahead and correct it over there on the box.
And there's Benitez. Oh, we got it
intercepted.
And that looks like Jackson Phillips. Jackson Phillips.
And Phillips,
come
he's
on.
still on his feet.
You
he's
got
at the 5-yard line.
I think he's
down
on the
at
4-yard
line. Wow.
Wow.
First down, Blades.
And the crowd has just gone nuts here in the stadium. We haven't heard this much noise all night.
No, we haven't.
Wow. Phillips. Wide open over there.
12, Jackson Phillips.
Ellis trying to scramble away. He was running from number 17,
Also
Luis
critical
Benitez, who almost had him, and then Benitez got drilled on a blindside block.
Well, Blades are going to have the ball in about the 3.5-yard line with 50 seconds left and 2 timeouts left. So they're looking in, they've got a pretty good situation here.
50 seconds remaining in the first half.
And a timeout is called, and that's going to be called by South High.
So that's going to give South High
That's their second timeout.
using their second timeout. They've got 1 left.
Fans, the Kern High School District would like to thank Motor City, Bakersfield College, and Kern Schools Federal Credit Union for their continued support of students in the district. Next week, South will face Miramonte over at Miramonte, and East will face North at North High. That East-North game could be quite a barn burner, don't you think, Rick?
I think so. And if East wins tonight, you know, North High now, after losing to Highland, they're in that spoiler role. So, and they're very capable of beating East, South, of course, Miramonte. So they're kind of in that spoiler role. So the winner of this game and Highland, if they continue what they're doing, are headed for a collision here.
Yeah.
Car wreck here late in the season.
So fans, with you're listening and watching to us tonight on the Kern High Network, be sure to tell your friends. They can tune in from all over the world. Of course, my little girl, Megan, in Haifa, Israel this year. And she's listening to us from there on the World Wide Web.
Number
Gets down to about we got a touchdown over here.
And they're going to call it a touchdown. And that was a handoff to number 16,
Nate Martinez.
Touchdown, Blades. Quite a turn of events here. Had the chance to punt it away earlier, didn't do that, and ended up keeping the ball. And then throws the second interception of the game that the Blades have picked off today.
Every point is important in games like this.
Number 12, Jackson Phillips.
Oh, they gave it to Jackson Phillips on that, not Nate Martinez. And the kick is up and good. 43 seconds left to go in the first half. It's the Blades 10, the Rebels 0. We'll be right back after this.
So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home. Current Schools. Together, we have something special.
Welcome to the city, Motor City, where it's summer sell-down. Drive away a GMC Sierra 4-door, only $29,990. Or save up to $10,000 off select Sierra HD models. Summer sell-down offers end September 3rd. We are professional grade, and we are California's largest volume GMC dealer, Motor City.
Current Schools Federal.
Couple of scores in really quick. Foothill 10, North 0. That's a big surprise there. Good for Foothill. Highland 28, Miramonte 0. BHS 23, Garza 0. And this big shocker right here.
Don't kick it. There you go. All right.
Ridgeview 7, West 0. West holding Ridgeview to 7 points in the first half of that game.
And that BHS score is 23-7.
23-7. Yeah, I didn't mean to give Garza 0. Sorry, Garces. Last week, a barn burner at Frontier. Frontier won 40-35. Campbell driving late, and Frontier intercepted to stop that drive and win the game. But it was a fantastic game by both teams.
Okay.
So the Blades will kick it again. 41 seconds here in the first half to go. They're leading 10-0.
And just don't kick it to King Ellis or Daniel Lomax. You'll be all right.
And, of course, it's going to go to King, and it gets through his hands. And he still doesn't have anybody close, but he's got a little bit of room to get around people, and he's just going to run out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Great job by East High, who's at 25.
Finally forced out of bounds by number 25 for East High. We have penalty flag.
And East High doesn't have number 25 either.
No, they don't.
Penalty marker thrown at the 30-yard line. We'll wait to see what the Whitehead has to say about that.
Should be against South High, but we'll see what the White Hat, Mr. Bill Solon, has on the call.
And it's a personal foul after the play. And it's against both teams. That'll offset, so nothing will happen. It'll just stay right there. So we'll see what South goes to now. I don't know if Guzman is on the field.
Looks like Guzman is coming onto the field, so he's the better passer of the two, King Ellis and Guzman. But the thing about that is they put King Ellis at receiver, and he's just as good.
I saw Manny Guzman 2 weeks ago, at West High, hurl one up from the 45-yard line into the end zone for a touchdown off his back foot and then got drilled in the process after he jumped over a lineman that fell in front of him.
Well,
an incredible play. In fact, he got play of the week on Greg Kerr's show on 29.
I saw him get crowned homecoming king last week at South High. And South High takes their last timeout.
Well, no, that's going to be a knee, and that's going to do it for the first half here. Coming to you once again, it's East High School taking on the South High Rebels here on senior night from East High. The Rebels lead 10-0, and we're going to take a break and be back with the second half coming up in about 10-15 minutes.
East High 10.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile.
And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special. One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special. One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile. And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses. Having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs.
This lamb is stubborn.
Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it helped prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of the FFA organization, and through that we have a chapter officer team. We do monthly chapter meetings because we're trying to get them involved outside of class. They can find something that they're interested in, and they need something that's going to hook them so that they're ready for life after high school.
In animal care, the students learn a variety of things, whether it's tools or terms. In the veterinary field, they learn about the skeletal systems, animal nutrition, the housing, how to properly care for them. They also have the opportunity in the spring to actually go work at a veterinary hospital or at an animal shelter or a grooming salon.
Animal restraint, weight and temperature, pulse, respiration, all of that I learned here.
They take a state certified test, and if they pass, they become a certified vet assistant right out of high school.
It's always hands-on, and so I think that's what really helps us, is that we're not just getting it from a textbook, we're actually doing these things, and we're actually practicing these things that we'll be doing in our future careers.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had a chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
We're in manufacturing engineering. We design parts, 3D parts, 2D parts, we create assemblies.
It's helping me get training in all of this stuff, like the computer programs that we have here, the machines that we have here. We learn a lot of math in here, mostly geometry and fractions, because I love math. That's why I'm in this class.
Mr. Lemmy, he's a great instructor.
So the problem is this piece itself.
He really goes hands-on with us. He helps us as much as we can. We've learned a lot from him.
Right now we're supplying students that are skilled in the safety, basic operation of machine work, and then they also leave with some soft skills. They understand they have to be on time. They understand that they have to get up and talk to people. Most of them are walking out of here with a solid foundation in the entry level of a trade.
They can have a job anywhere they go because they have a basic understanding of what it's going to take to put products out that people are going to use.
Hopefully this is a good career for me. End up doing something good, have a good life, and make some money.
Well, we're learning a lot, and especially with just the basic knowledge of what you would need for an entry-level job.
All the basic skills to be a medical assistant in a doctor's office or a clinic.
You're leaning on it, and that'll make a difference.
And then they also do on-the-job training, and they work in doctor's offices or clinics throughout Kern County. The kids are job ready, and many of them are employed before the end of the school year. They're promised a job, as well as they continue their education. We have many registered nurses out there and even physicians.
I'm thinking I want to be an anesthesiologist. So a lot of school, but it'll be worth it in the end. We're learning the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made, and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. And what the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun, and he makes learning fun.
So they've got top-of-the-line computers here, and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
lot of more hands-on activity, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
All right, everybody, now that we have head coach Casey Tittlemeyer back out on the field, we'd like for him to please turn his attention Coach Tittlemeyer. All right. Coach Tillmeyer, if you can please turn around, turn your attention over to Miss Alvarez, right down on that side of the field, Coach Tillmeyer. Band, if we can please have the band cut this song, please. Tonight we have one last tribute on our Pink Out night tonight, and we'd like for everybody to please turn their attention. Coach Tillmeyer, our school had made a sign for you in honor of your mother, Mickey Bilderbeck, who was passed along 6 years ago. And we'd like to give Coach Tillmeyer and his mom, Mickey, a round of applause. And a bow from his team that they are all playing in her honor tonight. So guys, let's wave those flags for Coach's mom. Fantastic tribute to Coach's mother. We're all playing in her honor tonight.
I don't know, maybe that was.
Hello, testing.
Mine's
testing,
off. There we
testing,
go. Now I'm back.
Are we on?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Kern High Network and our live exclusive streaming sports of Kern High School football. Coming tonight from East High School, home of the East High Blades, taking on the South High Rebels. East High leading 10-0, and here we go. They're kicking it away for the second half.
Short kick.
And it is a short kick, and it's fielded number 23 for the Rebels. That's Job Amador.
Brought down on the play by number 31.
And kind of a surprising, not really putting it down the field anyway. I know they don't want the Lomax and King Ellis to get a hold of it at all, but not really doing too much by giving them 45-yard line.
Well, the East High's playing with a little confidence on defense. They did a great job in the first half holding these South High Rebels, who scored 70 points last week, to 0 points in that first half.
An impressive defensive effort by the Blades so far. So here we go. 1st and 10, Guzman from the shotgun. He's joined in the backfield. Ellis in motion, and he's going to be the lead blocker for Lomax, who cuts back. And Lomax is going to push forward and get a couple of yards out of that. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the 49-yard line.
And our Visu, we haven't called his name a whole lot this first half, and Michael Aguirre making that tackle.
So not much production by the South High Rebels in the first half. And that's Lomax around the left side. And he's going to get up close to a first down, stop short about it by a yard.
Carlos Medina making the tackle for the Blades on that. Not a bad job setting the edge there, making Lomax cut it back in to the rest of the Blades, and they rallied up.
East High, 46.
So a handoff once again to Lomax, who cuts up the middle, and he's going to get a first down. And he's tripped up and gets right across the 40-yard line, and that's a first down.
Very tough to hold Daniel Lomax to 1 yard.
First down.
He's a senior running back that weighs 205 pounds, and in high school, that's a very big kid.
And right now, the Rebels going to the old playbook of run and run and run and run and run, as opposed to run and pass. And a handoff once again to Lomax. And he loses the ball, pops out. And it's picked up by number 23.
And it looks like it's recovered by East High.
And the Rebels
That's Carlos
lose
Medina,
the ball.
number 22, it looks like.
I think so. I think it is 22. And another mistake by the South High Rebel offense in turning the ball over.
Yes. You know, something they didn't do at all last week.
3 turnovers so far on the day for the Rebel offense. And the Blades are going to have the ball at the 40-yard line. First down and 10. 10-14 left to go here in the third quarter.
When you get teams that are so closely matched, south, east, north, Highland, turnovers are the deciding factor at the end of the game.
So now the Rebels are going to go with the jet sweep around the left side.
Nelson, the ball carrier.
And that's Keyshawn Nelson.
He's forced out of bounds by number 10, Tyrone Wilson.
Nelson's going to pick up about 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up second down and 3 from the 33-yard line.
It's a great first down play. When you get 7 yards on first down, that leaves you second and 3. You can open up the playbook.
Nelson 6 passes in the first half. We don't know for how many yards because we don't have the stats on it. But right now, just so everybody knows, we are starting to look at our current High Network player of the game. And Rick and I had a little discussion at halftime, and he is in that conversation.
Chuck and Phil Holland, happy birthday.
He is. I hate to say it because I've got him in class every day.
And in the interest of full disclosure, and there's a handoff in that defense of South High swarming to the ball. And he's going to pick up 2 yards on the play.
Got to hand it to South High defense because they haven't let Nate Martinez, who's their bread and butter,
Number 5, Sebastian Morales.
get much between the tackles. Everything East High's gotten is outside the tackles, outside the hashes.
And a South High Rebel shaking up on the play. And I'm trying to get that number. It looks like it could be, well, you'll have to give us just a second. We're trying to find out who that is that's down on the field. It was a pickup of 2 on the play, so it'll bring up third down and 1 coming up here in just a moment. And he's going to pop up quickly, and that's number 27.
Looks like the injured player was number 21.
21, correction. Durai Seals. So Seals shaking up on the play. He'll come out. Good to see he's off under his own power. And third down and 1 from the 31-yard line for the Blades.
Another birthday shout out for one of our football players here tonight, too, number 70, Joel Barriga. Happy birthday, Joel.
So Nate Martinez lined up in the backfield, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper. And that's Willie Ball on the keeper, and he's going to stumble forward, and that looks like it's close.
I think it's going to be a first down.
And they're waving a first down. Yes, it is.
First down. Gain of a yard up to the 30-yard line. First and 10 for the Blades.
So Willie Ball showing his versatility and being able to cut to the outside and get that first down.
Well, he didn't get much, but he got enough for a first down.
Players here at East High, Yadira Sanchez. Happy birthday, Yadira, from Tanya.
I don't have to be good looking. I just have to be better looking than you. That's the story, and I'm sticking with it. So Ball, and that's a handoff to number 16, Nate Martinez. And Martinez rams forward. He's going to get 2 yards on the play there. Not much. And a penalty marker flies. And the official was in the middle of everybody, and he heard something come out of Martinez's mouth, I think, that he didn't like. Now we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct call, looks like, called against the Blades.
That's going to be big if it's against the Blades because it's going to take them out of field goal position.
Unsportsmanlike penalty against East High. Back it up 15 yards.
So not something you want to see in this kind of a game when they're pressing and getting good yardage. So now, yes, it'll move them back 15 yards, and it's going to bring up second down and long for the Blades now.
Yeah, I don't know how many plays I don't know how many second and 22. Actually, that's about 25.
They have drawn up in the playbook there, yeah.
Drawn up in the playbook. But
second and 24 is the call now. So they moved all the way back to the 44-yard line.
I'm going to imagine it's got something to do with Michael Rodriguez or Keyshawn Nelson here.
And I think you're right. Keyshawn Nelson on the jet sweep around the left side. And there's a penalty marker that's going to fly. And Johnson is having a conversation, and now everybody's getting into the fray, and flags are flying. And this is something you really don't want to see. And Lomax involved in that conversation. And, of course, Keyshawn Nelson was dogging somebody down on the sidelines, and then
Nelson with the ball carrier, runs out of bounds.
at first it looked as though there may be a holding penalty. And then we'll have probably unsportsmanlike against both parties, but the holding penalty will prevail.
Yeah, and it was.
And then that's going to push them back even further.
What they don't need is a 30-yard penalty right here.
So here's the white hat. Holding called against the offense, as we suspected. Then after the play, unsportsmanlike called against South. Oh!
Wow.
But nothing against the Blades. So that will be to the advantage. Well, don't they pace both of them off? I'm not sure how they're going to sort this out. I'm not sure if that is the correct new line of scrimmage. We'll find out here. Again, the unsportsmanlike was called after the holding penalty. Now, if they marked it off from the holding, from the flag where it's thrown the 10 yards and then gave the 15 yards forward, that would make sense. But it appears right now that they're going to have the ball at the 34-yard line, 33-yard line, and then that'll bring up second down still. The down will remain second. And a much more manageable 2nd and 13.
If they get a 2nd and 13 out of this, the Blades are better take that and run, because of all this confusion here.
That would be the gift that kept on giving this year. Hey, folks, while we have the chance, we want to thank the South High administrative staff and all they do for the South High School students in their charge. Of course, that's Principal Connie Grumling, Assistant Principal of Instruction John Getchin, Assistant Principal of Administration Brian Smith, Dean of Students Taisha Alvarado, Athletic Director Dante Boradori, and Activities Director Cecilia Polito. Thank you for everything you do for our students and our students in the district. So right now, still waiting to see how it's getting sorted out, and I think that Kerry Mills is having the conversation with the white hat over there, saying that the yardage line gain doesn't make sense. But right now, everybody kind of needs to
in the second quarter,
maybe calm down a little bit. They've gotten 2 unsportsmanlike conduct charges in a row here. So we're hoping that maybe they'll clean the game up. And they are moving the ball back now. So we'll wait to see how they pace this off now. So the holding penalty should still apply. That should be paced off from the spot of the foul. And then since it was an after the call, after the play had expired, they will pace it back the other direction for the unsportsmanlike called against the South High Rebels. And now that's what he's going to do. So he's going to come back 15 yards in this direction. And when you've watched the thousands of high school football games that I have, sometimes you get kind of good at this, but sometimes you don't know what they're talking about.
That's true.
And I thought I had it right the first time, but now I'm glad to know that I was close.
Yeah.
I knew there was something wrong that needed to be sorted out. So now the down will still remain 2, and the Blades will have it at the 36-yard line, 2nd down and roughly 16 yards to go here. So ball back to pass, and he's going to roll to his right and throw. And he comes back across the field. He has a wide open receiver, and look who it is, number 4, Keyshawn Nelson. Touchdown, Blades.
Well, kind of a little throwback. You know, he rolls right. He was looking to throw back all the way. So great throw by Ball, great catch by Keyshawn Nelson.
And one of the best throws that Ball's had all evening.
Yeah. And so that makes it 16-zip. And I tell you, every extra point is important now for the rest of the season. So
on the added extra point now, number 10, Jose Chavez. And once again, having trouble with the snap. And the holder, that's number 8, Johnny Salazar, and he's taken down. And 8:04 left to go here in the third quarter. It's the Blades 16, the Rebels 0.
East High Blades 16, South High Rebels 0.
So quite a turn of events here. A turnover, a bunch of penalties, and then a long throw and a touchdown. And the Blades.
Well, 2 of the turnovers that South High's had, East High's turned them into points. So this is not the South High team we saw last week.
But this is close to the South High team that we saw against Golden Valley when Golden Valley beat them. Yeah. Turnovers were a plague that kind of affected their entire game. So
and their 2 losses, Golden Valley and West, they've been plagued by that.
So now Chavez to kick it off, and back, of course, King Ellis, number 3, and Daniel Lomax, number 22. They're standing at their own 15-yard line. He's going to boot that one away, and that's a long one. Ellis going all the way back to pick it up. And he got it at the 2-yard line. And he just runs into the middle of a scrum, and he's not going to get much further than that. He's only going to bring it out to the 17-yard line. And they'll start from there. And I'm not sure if a penalty marker flew there or not. I don't think so. There were a couple of South High Rebels that got up clapping, but it looks like everything is okay, and there are no penalties on that one. We have been plagued with penalties in this game so far, Rick.
Well, we have. We've seen worse, and we've seen better. This is about average.
So 7:54 left to go here in the third quarter. The Blades leading 16-0.
1st and 10 from the Rebels. 17.
Guzman in the backfield. Lined up back there with him, number 22, Daniel Lomax Jr. Lomax coming around the left side. Correction, the right side, and a flag's going to fly, and that's going to be a holding call, and that one's going to come back. And the penalty plague of South High continues.
It is, and they're their worst enemy right now. East High's doing a great job on defense, holding these guys to 0 points in 2.5 quarters now. A team that looked invincible last week, having some problems tonight.
Well, and in East's defense against that team of last week, they've done the best job of maintaining the edge and cutting the running backs back up inside.
Yeah, they have.
You let Lomax and Ellis get around the outside and you have a problem, just like that.
Well, like I said earlier, you can eliminate the big play from Lomax and King Ellis. You're in the game. So East High has done that, and 16-0 East High.
Big pickup on the play there by South, and now that brings up 2nd and 7, and they're at the 20-yard line.
Brings the ball up to the 20-yard line after a 12-yard game.
Good ball position considering all the penalties that have gotten hit with so far here in this possession. So down here on the near side, that's number 10, Tyrone Wilson. We haven't heard much of him tonight. And there's a handoff inside to Lomax. And he's going to push forward and probably not get much of anything, if at all. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
East High dialing up the blitz there. On that 2nd down, it's going to bring up a 3rd and a long 7.
6:40 and counting here in the third quarter.
Short gain for Lomax, or actually no gain.
And Kerry Mills and his offense don't seem to be threatened right now or in big hurry. 16-0 is not an insurmountable lead. That's 2 touchdowns and two 2-point conversions. So Guzman back to pass. He throws over the middle. Oh! And it's intercepted again. And it's fumbled. And I'm trying to see who's got it. Looks like he's probably has it. Let's see.
Keyshawn Nelson intercepted it and fumbled it, and East High recovered. That was Andrew Perez that recovered that Keyshawn Nelson fumble.
Coming up and backing up his man.
But what a hit on Job Amador going across the middle. Bounced off his hand. He got drilled. And the ball popped up in the air and picked off by Keyshawn Nelson and returned all the way down to the 30-yard line where it popped out, and then they jumped on it. And right now, number 56, Nathan Carr, coming off the field for the Blades, and he's clapping. And an unsportsmanlike penalty called against the Rebels. Oh, no.
Wow, things are just compounding against the Rebels here.
And that's going to move the Blades all the way down to the 14-yard line almost.
Well, you're
just inside the 15.
Well, anytime you get a turnover, you want to come back and put that dagger in the back here. But since they're on the 14-yard line, you've got time. So don't rush it.
So Willie Ball and Nate Martinez in the backfield for East High. Double receiver set on the far side. And there's a handoff to Martinez, and he's going to probably... there's going to be a penalty marker. Great run by Martinez, but a penalty marker thrown at the 9-yard line, and that's going to be a holding penalty.
Gosh.
And it appears that there are 2 holding penalties. I don't know if they're in different spots or if they're in the same one. Good block down there, but that might have been a hold.
Yeah, it looks like it was on Charles Davis, young sophomore receiver for the Blades.
Holding against East High during the run.
And so they're going to mark off 10 from the spot of the foul. And that's going to push them all the way back to the 28-yard line. So you go from the 2-yard line to the 28 in the swoop of a pen.
Backs the ball up to the 23-yard line.
23, excuse me. So now, roughly 1st and 19.
1st and 14.
Well, he's saying 14. That doesn't look like 14 to me.
No.
And that's going to be a quarterback keeper in South. Big defense there. And that was Jesus Mays in on the tackle there, stopping up the middle. He was helped by number 5, Sebastian Ornelas. Ornelas may have made first contact. You know, the big guy always gets the better. He always gets the recognition the first way.
He always gets noticed.
Yep, he does, because he's big.
Second and 17.
And it's kind of hard not to notice Jesus Mays standing over the ball right now. So second down, nothing gained on that play.
Yeah, you got about a 2nd and 16 here, and so keep your eyes on Michael Rodriguez, number 1, or number 4, Keyshawn Nelson.
And Rick, I'm not sure if you're noticing this, but the wind now at our backs, it was in our faces a little while ago, so the wind has shifted here in the stadium just a little bit. That can matter when it comes to field goal time and a timeout called by the East High Blades.
That's why they got to get a little closer here for Jose Chavez to be in his range.
Fans, we'd like to take the opportunity to recognize those who help us with this production and putting it on here in the Kern High School District. Mr. Stan Green, our Director of School Support Services. Javier Valdez, our Editor, Coordinator of Public Information. Victoria Valencia, Design Public Information Specialist. Miguel Garcia, Design and Public Information Specialist. And staff, Deanna Ribbons, Dainira Aguinaga, Genesis Seikel, Vanessa Ramos, Ashley Ortega, Catherine Lugo, and our photographers, Nick Ellis and David Dennis. And, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize our leadership in the Kern High School District. Dr. Brian Schaefer, our superintendent, Deputy Superintendent Scott Cole, and Associate Superintendents Dr. Brenda Lewis, Dr. Dean McGee, and Dr. Mike Zolfa.
Third quarter score, Foothill Trojans 10, North High Stars 7.
So that score just in, we were just hearing over the public address system, Foothill 10, North 7. So that went up, and it's just out of the reach of Keyshawn Nelson. And a penalty flag looks like it's been thrown. And that might be a pass interference call. Let's wait to see what the call is there. So still waiting to hear. It got awfully quiet here suddenly. They must have turned off the microphone in the press box or something. I'm not sure what that was. Wow. And so let's see what the call is. Pass interference is called against the Rebels. So that's going to move.
That's going to be a big break for the Blades there.
The Blades down to the 12-11 yard line now. And it's second down. 6 yards to go. So they just have to get to the 5 yard line to get a first down. But this is touchdown territory for Willie Ball, the way he's been hurling the ball around lately. Oh, and that one is a mishandled snap. Ball picks it up. And then he goes ahead and falls on it right there after he trips off the back of his lineman. And that's going to bring up third down. And and what are they calling? Are they calling that the Rebels picked up the ball and they have it? Or was ball down?
Well,
we're waiting on the official. There, the officials call it South High ball.
To the Rebels.
Wow.
Rebels defense comes up with a loose ball.
I'm not sure what happened there. It looked as though Willie Ball had mishandled the snap because the snap was off just a little bit. It actually bounced into his running back, Nate Martinez. Then it bounced forward behind the lineman. He picked it up and started to run with it, and then maybe it came out there. I didn't see it pop out, and then the South High Rebels recovered it. So a big turn of events for the South High Rebels now. They've got the ball at the 12-yard line. First and 10, 4:34 left to go here in the first quarter. The third quarter. So a handoff to Daniel Lomax Jr. around the left side, and he's still on his feet. And he's going to push forward. Looked as though he got all the way to the 20, but I don't know if they're going to quite give it to him. Maybe the 19.
We've got another flag down.
And penalty markers thrown again, and that's going to be on the Blades. That's thrown back here in the backfield for the Blades. So my guess is it may be an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play.
The ball spotted at the 18-yard line. It was a pickup of 5 yards.
And Kerry Mills is having a conversation with the white hat over there on the far side, and he doesn't look pleased. And from the look of it, unsportsmanlike is called against the Rebels.
South High.
So somebody is saying something on the on the Rebel squad that is causing that to happen. And we may end up having a record for a Friday night football game on the Kern High Network for the number of penalties called. It may be getting close.
I tell you what, we've been up in the 35 range, so we're not
That's
nearly
going to be a
there.
good record to break.
I don't know. It feels like we're getting awfully close. Kevin, Willie, what do you think?
Kevin knows. We've been here till 11 o'clock at some nights.
Yeah, we've had some pretty yellow games.
Yeah.
And there's Lomax
In
around
fact,
the right side.
If I remember right, Frontier, we had 9 in a row at Frontier versus Parkview. So
we're never supposed to talk about that game ever again.
Yeah. That was the biggest mismatch I've ever seen. Yeah.
3rd and 12 for the Rebels.
Parkview had 25 players and 1 midget on the team.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry, I missed that game.
Yeah. No, you're not. It was pretty slow. 45-0, was it? And I think that we were playing third string by the second quarter.
Yeah. Oh, what a play.
And Ellis is swarmed by the East High defense.
Great job by Andrew Amazon that time, coming up from his corner spot.
Helped out by number 84.
Great defensive stance by East High. And then,
And sure, you'd love to give it to them completely, but honestly, South High just kind of stepping on their own feet.
Wow.
And now here comes Lino Bravo on to punt for the South High Rebels. And unfortunately, Keyshawn Nelson standing at the 30-yard line. to field this one. The wind has shifted, and it is at our backs. So if Bravo gets this one too high up in the air, it may not go that far. And he gets that one off, and it's not going to get very far before it gets out of bounds. They're going to mark and spot that right around the 23-yard line from what I was looking at here. And that's a horrible spot.
Wow.
That is not where punt. That ball went out of bounds. I mean, not a great punt, but he got a gift on that one.
That looks like he got almost 5 yards.
He got 5 yards on that one for sure. Yeah, oh yeah. And the South High guys are looking at me, and they agree. We have the South High coaching staff up on the press box up here, and they're looking over here going, yeah, we got one. They gave us one on that one. So now East High has the ball at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. 2:34 left to go here in the third quarter. South High with a misstep on that last one with the fumble and the mishandled snap. So there's Willie Ball rolling to his right, and he throws. He's got an open receiver. And that pass complete to number 1, Michael Rodriguez. And that's going to be a first down at the 20-yard line. No, I'm sorry. He got out of bounds before the stick, not after it, so it was an 8-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd and 2.
That's kind of their bread and butter. South High hadn't been able to stop that. Now, I'm surprised East High hadn't used that more. Rodriguez being their best receiver.
One receiver underneath him, one over the top. So now they're going with the read option, and he flips it out. And Martinez carries it around the left side, and he's going to push forward just past the 15-yard line. But they spotted him all the way back at the 16, 17-yard line.
Well, either way, it's good enough for a first down, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blades from the 17.
Gain of 3 yards on play.
Not a great spot by the officiating crew. I mean, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. It's great to have a first down, but at the same time, that's almost a loss of 3 yards there.
From the South High 17-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for South, 2:18 on the clock, and the clock is running now. It was stopped, but they stopped it for a first down. And he's going to get down just inside the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal from there.
And Nate Martinez has another East High first down.
It's about the best run Nate Martinez has had. He hasn't really been able to get loose tonight.
Well, in East High, in what they've done tonight, mostly have been a couple of pretty big plays, and those plays by Nelson.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a play over 30 yards the whole game.
Except for the one that Nelson caught. Remember, he was rolling to the ball was rolling right through back across his body to the left. That was about a 35, 40-yard pickup.
Maybe a 30.
Maybe 30, yeah.
Offsides, South High.
So that's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Repeat first down.
And we're still waiting for the clock to start here. There we go.
Their power set, Landon Burrell comes in.
I want to make an announcement that the breast cancer awareness long sleeves will be on sale again in a couple weeks at the finance office here at East High.
And I'm sure that everybody can hear that in the background. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the Kern High School District. And, of course, a lot of fundraisers going on this season. Links for Life taking place at Frontier High School right now, and they're doing that between their affiliation with Centennial High School, between the two schools, and doing a great job of raising funds for that. And a big one coming up next week as BHS comes to Frontier High School. They'll be doing a presentation as well.
2 quarterback sneaks in a row.
And Willie Ball didn't look like he had quite a good grip on that one.
Ball up the middle once again for another yard.
It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 1.
Now, if you don't get in on this one, what do? Do you go for it, or do you kick the field goal?
Well, the way their East High defense is playing, I might go for it. And they've been playing pretty well.
And then if you don't get in, you pin them. But this is a two play downs now. This is what they're going with.
Yeah.
And he's going to try and push forward again, and I think he's going to get in this time, and he does. Touchdown, Willie Ball. Blades touchdown. And it didn't seem like South could do much to stop that one. And, I don't want to say that they've kind of tossed in the towel, but they really didn't look like they were prepared and ready to go on that play, did they?
Well, that was kind of the tipping point there. So once they got down 22, 15 seconds left in the third quarter, kind of took a little wind out of their sails.
So now it appears, I'm trying to figure out, it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
Yeah.
And that would make the score 24-0. So 3 touchdowns and a field goal is what it would amount to for South to come back. And that's a handoff to Martinez, and he hits a wall, and there's nowhere to go. 15 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. It's the East High Blades 22, the South High Rebels 0. We'll be back right after this.
22-0.
So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home. Current Schools. Together, we have something special.
Welcome to the city, Motor City, where it's summer sell-down. Drive away a GMC Sierra 4-door, only $29,990. Or save up to $10,000 off select Sierra HD models. Summer sell-down.
Welcome back in on the broadcast. East High Blades just scored a touchdown to extend their lead to 22-0. Getting set to kick off. Number 10, Jose Chavez. And, of course, back deep for the Rebels. Number 3, King Ellis. Number 22, Daniel Lomax. And Lomax is going to be the one to return it. And Lomax almost found a seam there. He's still on his feet. He's over the 50-yard line and down the sideline and just pushing runners away out of his way as he goes. And he's forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A big return for Lomax, one of the best ones we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you kick it to the best player in the stadium.
Apparently they weren't following Kevin Willie's advice to not do that.
45-yard kick.
So they're going to actually spot it on the other side at the 46-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10. Guzman in the backfield. Lined up with him back there is number 9. And that's Caleb Peebles. Peebles is going to stay in the block. And Guzman, and he finds trouble, and he's going to be sacked. Well, I say he's going to be sacked. He's still on his feet, and he pushes forward.
That looked like Benitez again. In fact, there was a host of Blades back there, but Benitez finally.
17, Luis Benitez.
And Guzman turned a 5-yard loss into a 2-yard loss. So give him that, but he's a big guy to try to bring down.
So they have Peoples in the backfield now, so that means they've got King Ellis and Lomax out at receivers now.
So that's the end of the third quarter, and the East High Blades are ahead 22-0 over the South High Rebels. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home. Current Schools. Together, we have something special.
Welcome to the city, Motor City, where it's summer sell-down. Drive away a GMC Sierra 4-door, only $29,990.
We're back for the start of the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 12.
Second and 12.
Guzman back to pass. And he finds trouble again, gets flushed out of the pocket, and he's taken down with the 2-yard gain. He's back to the original line of scrimmage.
It looked like it was Benitez again on the tackle.
And Peebles stumbling off now.
We've talked about that East High defense, not giving up the big play, putting pressure on Guzman, not letting Lomax get loose. And got to give some credit to that big old guy in the black shirt down there, Daniel Calvin.
There's a handoff to Daniel Lomax Jr., and he's going to push forward all the way up to the 38-yard line.
That's going to bring it. I think he's
close to a first down, but it'll bring up 4th and 2.
4th and 2, so you've got to go for it now. Down 22-0 if you're South High. And it's pretty hard to stop Daniel Lomax from getting 2 yards.
Big 4th down for your defense.
Well, this will be the true test of how good South High's defense is if they get a stop here.
South High calls it.
The snap, we have a timeout.
And South is going to want to talk it over and have a conversation real quick to see if they have the correct personnel in there. Last week, that game at South High, that high-powered offense that rattled off how many points again? 70?
70.
And they've got a goose egg on the scoreboard. If you had to call this at the beginning of the night, would you have guessed it was going to be a 24-0 score at the beginning of the fourth quarter?
No, I would figure, because if you look at East High's offensive output for their whole season, they've scored 20, 24, 26, 26. They did score 45 last week against Miramonte, but
they're right in line with what they're capable of then.
Their 4 games that they've won have been by a total of 13 points. So defense has keeping these guys in the ball game, and tonight's no difference.
Well, tonight, a much bigger differential in the point column.
It is.
Than it has been for the other ones combined, obviously.
Yeah.
So 4th down and 2. Guzman in the backfield along with Lomax. In the slot is number 9, Caleb Peebles. And Lomax up the middle, and I don't know what that was. Yep, they're going to call a horse collar on that one.
It's going to be brought down from behind by number 12, Jackson Phillips.
And that's going to tack on an extra 15 yards to that.
Well, that was probably Lomax's best run of the night right there. So
I think they were thinking he was going around the outside, and he went straight up the gut. And a big pickup on that play. They were at the 38-yard line, and he got all the way up to the 20. So that was an 18-yard scamper on that play, and that's going to put him all the way up 10-yard line. And now 10:42 to go here in the fourth quarter, and South High knocking on the door.
They are. Look for Lomax again.
And that's a handoff again, Daniel Lomax Jr., and he's going to push forward and pick up about 5 yards on the play.
Brought down by number 6, Noah Arvizo.
Your first game at East High this year.
It is my first game here.
Probably maybe your first game ever, huh?
No, my Frontier Titans have played here before.
Okay. Well, I got to give a shout out to Bree Alvarez, the activities director, because East High has as many more cheerleaders than they do players.
And Lomax pushes his way up to the 2-yard line now. And it's going to be 3rd and goal from there.
Now South High's in that hurry-up
Gain of 4 to the 2-yard line.
urgency offense.
And East High has not seen that today, and I think he's in, and it's a touchdown. Touchdown, Rebels.
That's the first time they've really got some urgency in their offense the last 2 plays.
And no mistakes in the last 5.
And kind of caught East High off guard there.
So Lomax really taking over on that set of downs. And boy, did he ever impose his will on the East High Blade defense. And I dare say shredded it. And they put the ball in 6 plays. So now on for the extra point try. Number 80, Lino Bravo, one of my favorite names.
80, Lino Bravo lining up to kick the extra point.
So the snap, and the kick is up, and it is good.
And the The kick is good.
9:43 to go here in the third quarter. The Rebels finally on the board. It's 22-7.
22. South High Rebels 7.
And now, if you're the South High Rebels, what's your plan?
Well, we saw 8 onside kicks last week. Okay. So
that is a lot of onside kicks for one game.
Most of them come from South High.
Wow.
And so don't.
So if you were a betting man right now, we may
be surprised.
We may see an onside kick here. Gee. Well, an exciting night of football here across town at the half, and we haven't gotten an update of the score, but it was Stockdale and Centennial, and Stockdale was leading 7-0. Is that correct?
Yes.
So not a high-scoring affair going on over there. We'll have to check in Vance Palm.
Not giving us much.
Not giving us any love over there.
Gosh.
And Kevin Willie.
And Stockdale may have a big game hangover from beating BHS last week, and that happens a lot. And maybe the same thing happening here with South High.
And when's the last time that Stockdale High School beat BHS?
I want to say maybe 11 years ago.
And that probably is true.
I'm not sure, but
the last time that Frontier High School
that was the number I heard.
Frontier High School, the last time they beat BHS, they won the league title. And that was back in. I don't know if that's any good. No, it's not. It did not touch the ground. So therefore, there's going to be a penalty on that one. It did go 15 yards, and he grabbed it. Now, in high school football, you cannot advance an onside kick, so it would stop there anyway, but the ball never touched the ground.
My source at Stockdale says it is Centennial over Stockdale 7-6 right now.
Oh, goodness. Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from Kevin Willie's mouth.
Well, either way, the Blades are going to get great field position on their own 40.
And this is the same thing that happened at the beginning of the game. An interference call was called at the beginning of the game as well.
Exactly where they kicked off. Now, I think you're going to see a lot of Nate Martinez here.
I believe you are correct. And here's Martinez. And, wow, big defense up front.
44's been on some plays here, but we don't have his.
We've never gotten his name. Maybe we can get it from these guys over here. We do have the staff for South High School up here, so Kevin Willie's going to check to find out who big number 44 is, because he's been in to help us out.
Terrell Bishop.
Terrell Bishop is number 44. So Terrell Bishop, we've been calling his number quite a bit tonight, but we didn't have him in our roster, so big apologies for that. He is listed as number 75 on the roster that we received from the school. So now it's 2nd down and 10. And the keeper, Willie Ball, hangs on to it, and he's going to get 3 or 4 yards out of the play. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brought down the play by number 44 for the Rebels.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do if you're East High is tighten up your. You can see they've kind of tightened up their playbook and narrowed it down and running the ball, and that's not what got you here. It's that wide open.
But you see offenses do that all the time.
And you're up by 22-7, fourth quarter.
8:24 on the clock and counting. 3rd down from the 36-yard line for the Blades. And that's going to be an encroachment, a big mistake.
By 44.
By number 44, Terrell Bishop, and I don't think he wants us to know his name now.
We just found out his name.
Yeah. We've been calling his name for some good things. Now we got to call his name for some bad things.
And it's going to be 3rd and 1 now, down to the 31-yard line. So the South High defense definitely going to have to tighten up a little here. Jesus Mays right down there in the middle, along with big number 74, that's number 44 and number 54, I believe. And that's a QB sneak and a big play there. Oh, and they're going to say he was stopped. Wow, a great play by number 65, Jesus Mays. Comes around the side and grabs the quarterback, number 2, Willie Ball, and stops him from getting through on the play. So 4th and 1 now.
Yeah. So if you're East High, you're in that no man's land now. You're almost too close to punt. You might as well go for it. If you don't make it, South High's got to go 70 yards.
So here we go. This to extend their possession. And a big play once again, and he's going to be stopped. Number 65, Jesus Mays, comes up with a big play. Wow. Big play there, and everybody down on the South High side needs to stop talking or flags are going to fly. They got the ball back, but if they continue, we're just waiting for everything to kind of get settled down, and the officials are in the middle of this thing. Coaching staff out on the field. This is getting rough. But South has the ball.
It'll be South High ball, 1st and 10 on 30. And there's a flag. Looks like that one's going to go against East.
Well, this just got reported. I don't know if this is correct or not, but it looks like the Stockdale Centennial game is over, and Centennial won 7-6.
Wow. We're going to have one penalty here. It's going to be against East High. I believe it's going to be against number 22, Carlos Medina.
And that's unsportsmanlike conduct. That'll be 15 yards to add on. And there's 7:08 left to go here in the 4th quarter. And they're going to have the ball all the way up at the 46-yard line now.
South High will have it 1st and 10.
Well, with all that mess there, wasn't a penalty called until they kind of pulled them apart, and then somebody from the east side popped off and got that 15-yard penalty.
Casey Tittlemeyer cannot be happy about that.
No, and
they've had such a great thing going this entire game and had control of this game, and now little by little, South High is chiseling away. And East losing their cool. And, of course, that handoff to Lomax, and he's around the right side. A good block out there on the edge. Could have been called a hold, but they let that one go. Of course, that's just a receiver doing his job, right? Big pickup by Lomax there. And South has the ball all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Rebels.
Now, one of the guys
Blades,
that was kind of very vocal out there was Lomax, so that may have been not in East High's favor there to get him riled up.
So handoff to Lomax, and he's going to cut back. Good defense by the Rebels, and he's only going to get a yard or two.
Brought down by number 16, Nate Martinez.
And that was Medina there making that tackle. Number 22 for the Blades.
And Martinez doing it on both sides of the ball. That was him on the tackle there. So not only their main running back for East High, but a big part of that defense. So there's the throw up top. Oh, and in and out of the hands of number 4,
Incomplete.
Angel Alvarez. And he was looking for a pass interference call.
Well,
kind of hard to get that, don't you think,
yeah,
Rick?
there it didn't look like any contact was made. It was just a very catchable ball that he dropped.
Yeah, that one just kind of went right in and out like a bucket.
Yeah,
we've all missed that ball.
Yeah, and if with 6:22 left in the game, I think South High's gonna have to put the ball up in the air. They've got Peoples in the backfield now, which means Lomax and King Ellis are out wide.
And that's a backwards pass.
And
Peebles isn't going to get much except get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
That was a great play by Andrew Amazon coming up from his corner spot.
And Peebles once again slow to get up.
Tackle made by number 84, Andrew Amazon.
And he's coming off the field.
Yeah, kind of unusual to put him there and then throw him that ball when you have Lomax there.
Yard on the play to bring up 3rd and 10 from
Well, they're saying 3rd and 10, but now it's 4th and 10. They just changed it in the box.
4th and 10.
And the PA announcer corrects himself. And, of course, I, as well as anybody, understand that PA announcers live and die by what that guy over there on the box does over there. So now, 4th down.
Oh, my.
And there's the guy we've been waiting to talk about all night long, Isaiah Tapia. And Tapia, part of that big offensive line. And there's a couple of penalty markers, one thrown at the 44 and one thrown at the 49 on the other side of the 50-yard line. So we'll wait to hear about what that's going to be all about.
Looked like a little bit of unsportsmanlike, a little bit of celebration from the sack, I believe, is one of them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Manny Guzman just been getting harassed all night long. Unsportsmanlike called against East High. And I don't know, is that going to be enough for a first down? No, it's not. So East will have the ball at the 30-yard line.
I think it's going to be a change of possession and then the penalty.
Because it was after the play had expired, of course.
But we haven't seen much of Isaiah Tapia until that play there.
Well, Tapia, part of that offensive line as well. He does block, I believe, on some of the heavy packages he comes in on.
He's been playing.
But I'll tell you what, I did have a conversation with Casey Tittlemeyer about him earlier, and he said he's a big part of that defense. Yeah. And that now you can see he came up big when it really counted. So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line, 5:30 left on the clock. East High in control, leading 22-7.
And again, you're going to see some Martinez. Now it's Jackson Phillips back there.
And there's a handoff to Phillips, and he's not going to get anything. That's going to be a big loss on the play. Yeah. Good job on the defense there, and penalty markers flying again. And now they're going to call another unsportsmanlike for excessive celebration on the South High Rebels.
Number 12, Jackson Phillips on that last carry.
And I don't know if I agree with the unsportsmanlike for excessive celebration on that. You just made a big play and you get up and you celebrate that with your teammates. I don't know if that's maybe just them throwing flags now to try and maintain a little bit of decorum in this game. Yep, they're going to say it's against the Rebels. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And he's been ejected. Oh, man. So he must have said something he shouldn't have said, is my guess.
I'm not sure that was as much a celebration as
something else. It must have been.
Now, I can't get the number of who got ejected.
And that's unfortunate. You know,
ball now spotted at the 38-yard.
You don't want to see it happen like that.
Now, it must have been, it looks like 44.
And the tough part about the ejection.
Give him the name.
Well, I don't want to give him his name. We've already. That's really a shame. He will sit out all of next week.
Well,
if it happens in the first half, you're okay. You can come back in the second half of the next game.
Yeah.
But if it happens in the second half, you're out for the entire next game. So South High will miss him next week. So now, I don't know if the official or the referee is having a conversation with everybody telling them to knock it off. Taking a while to get things started. 5:19 and the clock is running. So another handoff there. And that's a handoff to number 12, Jackson Phillips again. And this is what we were talking about. Taking your foot off the gas pedal before you got to the destination.
You know, and they've got that they've got that Michael Rodriguez, and they've used him like taking candy from a baby out there in the short routes, the hitch or the quick outs out there.
So now it's 3rd down and 14 from the 36-yard line, and East going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I'm incorrect. 3rd and 4, but it was 3rd and 2, wasn't it?
And you've got an inspired South High defense, and sometimes, and there you go. Oh!
And it's dropped. And that was intended for number 3.
Husan. You know, when you get a lathered up defense like South High is now, you know, you kind of got to misdirect them or run some screens off that.
Now here's something we haven't seen too much tonight. the East High punt team.
Coach Tittlemeyer sending out his punting unit.
So on to punt number 5, Andrew Perez. And going back, King Ellis is going to drop back for the South High Rebels. And I don't know how far he needs to go. The wind has kind of died down now. The flag is dead over there. We aren't feeling a whole lot of it up here on the press box any longer.
For the Rebels.
Ellis hovering back around his own 30-yard line. And the kick's away. And he picks it up anyway. I didn't think he was going to. Oh, and he sprung free, and he's coming around the left side. And there's a flag thrown, and that's going to be, I believe, a block in the back against the Rebels.
And we have
penalty flags on the field.
And there was a big hit out there. I missed it. And a helmet is off, and a penalty flag is thrown, and that could be targeting or hitting a defensive player. And now the coaches are out on the field, and they're arguing with each other. So now everybody rushing out onto the field. And they're going to have to do something. This one's getting out of control. So right now, the coaching staff for South High is getting into it with the coaching staff for East High. And some of the players have even come onto the field. And Casey Tittlemeyer is calling his team to the field to take a knee right now. And he's not very happy, Rick. So a big turn of events here, and good news, that's number 24, Josh Bettino, and he gets up. His helmet came clean off.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he got drilled on a blindside block, which is usually how that happens. When you have somebody and it's a cutback across the field, it's usually when that happens, and I think that's why the flags are down. Yeah. So we're going to get the call here from the White Hat here in a second. My guess is it's targeting a defensive player.
Well, it looked like they threw a flag.
About a 5-yard return up to the 37.
It looked like there was a block in the back as well. So I think there's two different penalties that we're going to see here. So let's see what our good friend Bill Solon has to say here. So after the play, well, he's saying it's after the play. I don't know. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct called against the return team, and that player has been ejected now.
So we have 2 ejections.
So East High has had 2 players ejected now.
South High.
South High, excuse me.
Yeah.
Has had 2 players ejected. Yeah, that's the worst thing about calling a game like this, all the directions. So I'm sure Kerry Mills is not very happy as a result of having 2 players now that have been ejected for next week's game. And this one definitely has league implications written all over it.
Yeah. The good thing for South, they play Miramonte next week, which they might be able to survive that.
And I'll tell you what, though,
but
don't mark out Miramonte. That squad has some ability to be able to quick strike when they want to, and I saw it against Kernville. I know it's Kernville, okay, but then don't hold anything back at Kern Valley. Don't hold anything back at Kern Valley either. It was a great game, actually.
Yeah.
And so now South is going to be pushed all the way back to the 13-yard line. 4:07 left to go, and they trail 22-7 here in the fourth quarter.
A 30-yard penalty here.
I'd like to let everybody know that came out here to today's game. I'd like to thank you all for being
a big thank you to our sponsors for tonight's game, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Bakersfield College, and Motor City.
All fans are please asked to meet cheerleaders and football players near the field house. Nobody other than coaches and players.
So we're going to take a look and see who the staff is that's left on the field here. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for number 22, Daniel Lomax Jr. You don't think he was one of the players that was ejected, do you?
No, I see him in the slot on the right.
Do you see him in the slot on the right? Okay,
Yeah,
I
here
couldn't
comes-
see his number, so.
And
And there's
here
King
comes
Ellis.
King
Okay,
Ellis.
so they still got
So-
both of those guys.
So,
And
Hey,
that's
look, we got a fumble.
And there's a fumble, but it's picked up. It doesn't seem like it really got out of the center's hand very
no,
well.
it looked like he.
He snapped it into himself, I believe.
Yeah.
Number 16, Nate
So.
Martinez, in on the tackle.
So now the clock running at 3:50.
South High's bringing in players that are limping now, 43.
And number 43 for the Rebels, that's Andon Simpson. So Simpson looks like he's in the backfield to block. A little extra protection for Guzman. Guzman drops back to pass, and he's hit real
They're
quick.
looking
And then he
for-
lets one fly,
Oh!
and Lomax has it. Lomax breaks to the outside, and he's down the sideline at the 45 and the 40 and taken down just past the 35-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great play by
And Lomax
Manny
went down
Guzman.
hard, and he's not getting up now. And one thing about Manny Guzman, he does have the ability to scramble and get the ball out. He's been caught quite a few times tonight.
Yeah,
But-
and he threw up a Hail Mary there to
Good example
Lomax,
there.
but he threw it to the right guy.
Now Lomax stumbling around over on the side trying to catch his breath. I think that he landed wrong, so he's gotten up a little gingerly, and they're working on him over there on the bench. So Guzman, he's going to throw one deep, and that's going to be, almost caught by number 10. Tyrone Wilson came back to get the ball, and it was just in and out of his hands, and he's
Yeah.
looking for a pass interference call, but I don't think that was.
Actually, East High had some pretty good coverage there. Andrew Perez, number 5, was stride for stride with him.
That was what I like to call a deep back shoulder throw.
Yeah. And
because he had to come
East
back for
High's
it a little
defense
bit.
better get ready here. Oh!
Oh, and it's intercepted again.
That's
And look
Jackson.
who got it. Jackson Phillips. Is that his second one of the game?
That's his second one of the game. That was a pretty great one there. He was one-handed.
Wow, he just reached up, snagged it, and brought it in.
4 turnovers for your East High defense. 2:36 remaining in the ballgame.
So 2:36 left to go here in the game. East has the ball at the South 49-yard line and back in control.
Now they can, with 2:36 left, now they can use a little Nate Martinez here. Use some clock up. They punt it. It's not going to give South High enough time to score.
21 yards.
2
enough
touchdowns,
points,
yeah. Wow, what a game this one has been. Plagued with penalties, plagued with unsportsmanlike conduct penalties at that. Several injuries, 2 ejections, and a partridge in a pear tree. So that a good handoff in it. Quick run around the right side. That's number 16 on the carry, Nate Martinez.
Okay, my vote for the Partridge for player of the game.
Partridge for the player of the game. Yep.
Well, we're getting down to that point in our broadcast where
We have to pick the Kern High Network player of the game, yeah.
You know, you've got the East High defense have played great all night. You've got Keyshawn Nelson, who's had 6-7 catches and a touchdown.
Well, and don't take too much away from the South High defense. I mean, it's only 22 points. They didn't exactly light up the scoreboard for East High. And a couple of those things, and that's going to be a delay of game call, I'm certain. Oh, they're going to call a false start on East High.
False start against East High. Maxing up 5
And again, the offensive lineman is talking to the defensive lineman on the other side of the ball for something. I'm not quite sure what.
Once again, I want to
A
remind
lot of
everybody
chit-chat going on in tonight's game.
outside of the field near the field house.
1:45 to go.
Of tonight's game. Nobody but players.
The Blades at the 45-yard line, second down and 6. And Ball hands it off. And on the carry, number 16, Nate Martinez. Martinez gained 3 yards after he got hit.
We have a timeout on the field. Timeout, South High.
And timeout called by the South High Rebels.
Leaves them one timeout left, so
several players of the game we've been talking about. Willie Ball, the quarterback for East High.
3rd and 3 will be returned.
Had a couple of big plays tonight.
Luis
ran
Benitez,
a touchdown in.
Luis Benitez, D-line, defensive couple sacks. Jackson Phillips, 2 interceptions tonight.
Nate Martinez. Keyshawn Nelson, of course.
Next week,
on the other end of it, Daniel Lomax Jr.
Well, yeah.
Probably over 100 yards running.
Against the North High Stars.
Had a couple of 30-yard scampers, I believe.
Yeah. Definitely not.
King Ellis.
East will be
not so much, but
good.
Yeah.
Good bright stars for the South High side in this losing bout.
Oh!
And look at that. Hand off to number 16, Nate Martinez. Touchdown, Blades.
Touchdown, Blades.
Well, that just elevated Nate Martinez's stock, but
so Martinez with his second touchdown of the night.
Nate Martinez coming up big on senior night.
Yeah. And they just said it. Coming up big on senior night for the big senior. So 1:29 left on the clock. And I'm trying to see if they're going to kick the field goal here. Yeah, they sure are. So Jose Chavez on for the extra point attempt. And again, the snap not quite right, and it's missed.
And the kick is no good.
So
1:29
I mean,
in the ball game.
you have a great kicker in Chavez, but the snapper just can't seem to get the ball in the right spot.
There's some timing issues there that they're going to have to work out because they're going to need those points against Highland and North.
Well, maybe it's good that they missed the field goal because it's a nice even score. It looks like they made 4 touchdowns. So 1:29 left to go. East High will boot it away once again to South as they trail 28-7 here in the fourth quarter. Thanks for everybody for joining us this evening. Once again, Tom Myers with Rick Van Horn, Kevin Willie on the camera and doing our production for us this evening. Thank you very much for all you have done to help us out, Kevin. Great job tonight. And, of course, Kevin got to stand next to a bunch of South High coaches this evening. And I think he got an earful. I don't know if they always agree with the officials, but,
South High Rebels will be
kind of a tough deal. So next week,
saw the game in a little different light.
Yeah, so next week as we discuss, South High will be visiting Miramonte, and East will be visiting North High School. So that one kicked away, and it's returned by King Ellis, and he's going to bring it all the way back up to the 37-yard line. And hopefully everybody's kind of worn out from arguing with each other by now.
Well, South High's got a long way to go with one timeout left.
Landon Burrell and Alex Castro in on the special teams tackle.
If I were a betting man, I would say Manny Guzman is going to be working from the shotgun with a fullback back there to block for him.
45-yard kick.
Well,
no, he's going to go single set all by himself.
They're missing some guys here.
Well, here we go. And again, that's number 43, Andon Sampson back there in the backfield. And a quick pass out to the right side. And that's to Angel Alvarez. And a pickup of 3 yards on the play. 1:05, and the clock is running. So Guzman looks to his right, rolls to his left. And he's got a man open, and he was pushed off, and it was, and he's almost caught, but dropped. Second time. The Tyrone Wilson has dropped the ball. And that was a little bit of a push-off, but they didn't throw a flag. They let that one slide. And it is going to be a roughing the passer. Somebody got into Guzman over there in the backfield after he let it fly. And that's not the first time that we saw him get drilled this evening.
Yeah, and then when plays break down like that and you have to scramble.
The second you stop the plant, there's a guy right there in your ear hole.
Yeah.
And Rick, you would know that. You played that position.
Yeah. You're moving around back there for a reason.
That's
Guys
why,
are in your face.
And that's why Rick has one arm shorter than the other.
We're back here in 2 weeks for Homecoming 2019. On the 25th.
So Guzman back to pass, good protection. And he throws that one, and it's picked off. The 5th turnover of the game. And there we go.
And we have another penalty on the play.
And that's Keyshawn Nelson.
And King Ellis came back and knocked the ball out of his hand after the whistle was called, and that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll wait to see what the call is from the White Hat as they discuss it over there on the sideline.
Yeah, that's got to be on South High.
No penalty, so they're going to wave that one off. Surprise.
Okay. Well,
I think the officials have probably had enough.
East High can take a knee with one timeout left from South High. They can only stop the clock one time.
And I have a feeling that Kerry Mills is not going to do that. If he called a timeout, I'd be surprised.
Looks like
well, let's talk about player of the game.
Well, tell you what, right now it's between two for me. Keyshawn Nelson, obviously, because of what he did on both sides of the ball today, and that interception didn't hurt. And also Nate Martinez. So, I mean, I'm really kind of torn between Keyshawn and Nate. So,
well,
Kevin Willie, what do you think?
So on the play,
that is a tough one, but I think if you want to add that last interception is, I think you got to go with Keyshawn.
Yeah.
Isn't Keyshawn in your class?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So,
in the interest of full disclosure, Rick Van Horn is Keyshawn Nelson's teacher.
For two classes.
So there you have it.
Well, I've never met him, so.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard-pressed. I'm going to.
The East High Blades.
You might have to get him another chair to sit in.
The East High Blades beat the South High Rebels 28-7. They improved to 2-0.
And we're going to head down.
Keyshawn Nelson is the current ever player of the game, and I'm coming down. We're going to present him with a shirt. So, on behalf of everyone here at the Kern High Network, myself, Tom Myers, Rick Van Horn, Kevin Willie.
And the win improves your East Bakersfield High School record.
I'm getting an earful right here.
6-1.
So
2-0.
The East High Blades improved to 6-1, 2-0 in league.
Once again,
and the Rebels are 1-1 now in league and 4-3. We'll catch you back here next week right here on the Kern High Network. So long, everybody.
North High Stars.